The second temptation is to gain power over the world by bowing down to Satan. In other words, it's about taking a shortcut to achieve the right thing, but in the wrong way. That's the whole reason Jesus, supposedly wants to bring the world to follow him, to understand the way he understands, to have that kind of dominion. This is an opportunity to take a shortcut, have it now, get it right now. Forget thousands of years of people misinterpreting the Bible for so many centuries and arguing about it and fighting over it and all that. You could have it right now. Just what you wanted. Supposedly just what you came for. It's about taking a shortcut to achieve the right thing, but in the wrong way. This is very, very seductive. It plays on our desire to do good and to make a positive difference. And we can rationalize that if we just had the money, got the job, passed this test, that we could make a real difference. And so the ends justify the means. We are tempted to take a shortcut instead of waiting and trusting and living our values. We can be seduced into thinking that I'll just bend the rules this one time in order to get what would take so long to get otherwise, and I might not even get it otherwise. This may be my only chance. The Bible story says the ends do not justify the means. Another fantastic rule to live by. And then the third temptation is when the devil tempts Jesus to prove his Father loves him by jumping off the tower to show that God will save him. How tempting is that? To want to prove to others that we are worthy, that we are loved. Sometimes we find ourselves doing something that we know we should not be doing. We don't have the time. We might not have the money. But in order to show others that we are indeed capable and lovable, we go ahead and say yes. Or in another case, we try to force people or get people or manipulate people into showing them or demonstrating their love for us. It's the allure of those who cannot say no when asked to do something, not because they want to do it, but because they feel that it's a way to prove their value to the world, to the community, to their dad, to their mom, to their parents, to their spouse. The story tells us not to fall into the trap of feeling that we need to prove our value by doing things that are not ours to do. It's the temptation of the overachiever and the perfectionist. It's also the temptation of those who would constantly try to get others to demonstrate their love by asking them to prove it over and over and over and over again. That's the temptation of the person who is never pleased no matter how hard others try to show them that they love them. So they are constantly seeking proof. It's like the old joke about the mother who gave her son 2 T-shirts for his birthday, and he goes upstairs and he puts one on, and when he comes down, she says, "What, you didn't like the other one?" You can't win. When we act out of a temptation to prove our worth, we're in trouble. So as you can see, I find great wisdom in this story. Yet I don't believe in the personification of the devil any more than I believe in the personification of God. But I understand the value of stories like this that use personification as a metaphor for teaching. In this case, the devil is a personification of our impulse for forbidden pleasures, or towards jealousy, or towards pettiness, or towards abuse of power. The personification is a way of talking about impulses that are real and that have power to rob us of our future and our families and our freedom. So, do I believe in an actual entity that's trying to steal my soul? A fallen angel called the devil, Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub? No. But just as a team mascot is a personification of a school spirit, or Smokey the Bear is the embodiment of our concern to protect the forest, Or Uncle Sam is the personification of our nation. The devil is a personification, a metaphor, a symbol for those impulses that leave us with an opportunity to choose who we want to be in the world. Believing in a literal devil often becomes a way of people avoiding taking personal responsibility. Yet to deny the influence of temptation and evil in our lives is to risk falling prey to its destructiveness. Often vice comes dressed up like virtue, and it can be hard to distinguish and to resist it alone. That's why it's so important to reach out to others who can help us, to help us name it for what it is. Right? We say, it's not really gossip, we're just sharing stories. No, we need someone to say, well, no, it is gossip, and we're probably better off forgetting about it, not talking about it. We say, it's not really stealing because I work for the company, and they don't pay me enough anyway. No, it's stealing. We need to reach out when we're feeling vulnerable because alone we are prone to give in. And temptations are always about much more than the immediate issue at hand. Much more. And the best antidote to temptation is to reach out to others in service. Because when we are caring for others and making a difference in other people's lives, we are much less inclined to seek immediate personal gratification. The devil has a hard time tempting those who have a strong sense of purpose and meaning in their lives. And now, if you need to talk to someone before making a bad decision, but reaching out is difficult for you, or you don't have somebody you feel like you could reach out to, you could call the care team. Those are good people, caring people, willing to talk and say, well, yeah, I think it sounds like it's a bad idea. It sounds like you don't want to do it. Or join a men's group or a women's group in the church. We all need caring people who we can trust in our lives, who can help hold us accountable and keep us on the right track, the track we want to be on, to avoid the problems. People that we can reach out to. And if you're like me, you can ask God for help. Now, I realize that not everybody in this church has a sense of a higher power. That's fine. This part of the sermon's not for you. You can go back to writing your shopping list or whatever, That's fine. I understand. I'm not trying to say that my way is a better way for anybody else. But for those who are like me, who do have a sense of divine presence in you and around you, or who are open to exploring that possibility, it's a powerful thing to ask God, by whatever name, for strength and for wisdom in a time of temptation. As a minister, I'm regularly called into terrifying, tragic, sad, and scary situations in which there is no real consolation. These are moments before death and devastation that stun even the most talkative among us into silence. And as I approach these moments, I do so in prayer. I ask the God of my understanding to help settle my fear, to quiet my anxiety, and allow me to be a source of love and light and grace for the people who I'm caring for. It's a simple prayer. But in these moments, I have to fight the temptation for despair, to fight the temptation to run away, to fight the temptation to believe that my presence is not enough. And in those moments, for me, prayer gives me the poise and the presence that I need to do what I need to do. And so I recommend it, reaching out to God in prayer in moments of temptation and distress, because I've found that it's been powerful in my life and in my ministry. But again, I share that for those who have a concept of God in your life, or spirit, or those who might be in the process of exploring a relationship with God. But let's all remember that temptation is not a bad thing. It's a normal part of life. And it's an opportunity to either lose our power or claim our authority, depending on how we respond to it. My point today is that temptation is real, and it can steal your future and your family and your freedom. And that the best medicine is reaching out to others who care and can be trusted, reaching out to God if you can, and reaching out in service to others so that your life has meaning and purpose. Because if there's one thing that the devil hates, it's when we devote ourselves to something more meaningful than our own gratification. Bear in mind that the path is rarely clear and the stakes are very high. Have courage. Have courage, for you are not alone. I love you. Amen.